Good morning, Foster High School. I'm Adrian Cachocho. This video is going to be about the upcoming U.S. Census and its importance to Tukwila. Before I show you the video, I want to thank my cameraman, Fikret Vilik, Principal Boyce, our superintendent of the school district, Athelda Burke, our representative of the 11th district, Zach Hudgens, and the advisory committee. Before I show you more about the U.S. Census, let's see what you students of Foster High School know about it. Do you guys know anything about the U.S. Census?
I don't think so.
No.
No, what's that?
Do you know anything about the U.S. Census?
No.
Do you know anything about the U.S. Census?
No.
Do you know anything about the U.S. Census?
What's that?
Do you guys know anything about the U.S. Census?
No.
No?
No.
Do you know anything about the U.S. Census?
No, I don't.
Census?
What's that? No.
Do you know anything about the U.S. Census?
Nope.
Do you know anything about the U.S. Census?
No.
Do you?
No.
Do you know anything about the U.S. Census?
On April 1st, 2010, our nation will be counted. Every person, whoever they are, wherever they live. And what we learn will transform what we know about ourselves. The 2010 Census. It's a new portrait of America. The 2010 Census is an exciting milestone for America. It promises to deliver accurate information about our diverse and growing population. And it's important for the future of every community. Census data will be used to allocate over $300 billion in federal funds every year.
The 2010 census will be important to the nation because it is the foundation of our democracy.
The census, no matter when it is the consummate partnership between local, state, and federal government.
Communities use the data to plan for their future, like disaster and emergency services, healthcare services, schools, transportation, libraries, senior centers, and more. The 2010 census builds on the success of previous censuses and is the best planned and most well-researched census ever. And innovations, like a new short census form, will help to make it even more successful. The 2010 census, it's easy to complete. Data are always confidential and safeguarded. It's important.
This census is a commitment to the American way of life. To be counted as a resident of the United States, I think, is one of the proudest things that can happen to you in this country. It's important. Stand up for yourself. Be counted. Let people know you're out there.
The 2010 census. It's a new portrait of America.
Since our district is so diverse and has a large population of students with English as their second language, how important do you think it's for our citizens in Tukwila to be counted on the 2010 census?
It is absolutely extremely important. There's a huge federal funding source, which is called Title I, that's really tied to education and school districts. And the federal funds for Title I provides actually teachers, class size reductions, tutors, all kinds of support services for students who have the kind of diversity makeup that we do in Tukwila. It looks at our poverty level, that's students who are on free or reduced lunch. It looks at students of color, all colors. It's really determined really on students who are not meeting standards. If we have students, for instance, who took the WASL last year and didn't pass it, it really focuses on giving resources to support those students in accomplishing passing the WASL.
It's incredibly important to be counted. I mean, just incredibly important, especially when you have a number of racial and ethnic minorities that may not have a voice in the community at large. This is the way people can be counted and can be represented. And the census forms can be obtained in different languages. You don't have to be a citizen. You can be a citizen or a non-citizen. You have to be counted. And all of the information is kept confidential. And so if you fill it out and mail it in, you'll be counted, you'll have more representation, you'll get more of the resources that are due to you and to your community. So you need to make sure that it doesn't matter what your background is, or whether you speak English, or whether you've got your papers are documented, or how long you've been here. This is a snapshot to get counted just on one day every 10 years, and it's very important.
Next question, how much do programs such as EOL, after school, study table, like tutoring, rely on the census?
Directly, the census represents this snapshot, and it gives an idea of how many people are in areas and need to be counted. So programs like English language learners and this diversity that we've got in Tukwila that is so important to Tukwila. I mean, this is the most diverse school district in the entire country, and we're proud of that diversity. But if those folks aren't counted, then those programs won't be funded. We won't see the need to make sure folks are able to take advantage of the opportunities that the United States and the Tukwila offers. And so those programs that you mentioned, like English language learning programs and after-school programs, school construction, job centers, hospitals, all of that sort of thing depends on the census once every 10 years. It depends on knowing how many people and what kinds of folks live in certain areas so that we can allocate our resources fairly.
We rely on them tremendously because we do get extra funding, support students who are non-English speaking. We get extra funding for students who are immigrants, students who have just come to the United States and need extra support academically. Some of our students in Tukwila, as you know, have not been in a school prior to coming here. So we do get some extra funding to support those students, although minimal, but if we don't have accurate counts in the census, we probably get less or maybe even none.
Everybody at Foster High School, I love when you come down to Olympia. I want you all to say hi to me if you see me in town or see me at the grocery store or something like that. And it is important that you tell your folks to get the census forms in. I think they're all going to be mailed about March 15th to 17th. It's only going to take 10 minutes to fill out about 10 questions. And it's important for you and your parents to sit down, take that 10 minutes, and get it mailed in as soon as possible. Because it is all about school funding, it's about job centers, it's about making sure that you're represented as we redraw the lines for government, as we tell the National Congress how many people are in our areas, and to make sure that everybody has a voice in our community. And I'm Zach Hudgens from the 11th District. I really appreciate Adrienne coming down and taking a few minutes to talk about the census.
I think that we have a really good opportunity here in Tukwila School District by letting our students know about the census and encouraging them to tell their parents about the importance of it, and letting them know that this city itself risks losing possible federal funding, and the school district risks losing or not having access to federal funding if we're not getting accurate counting. And again, we need to know every citizen, where they live, the makeup of their families, the size of their families, and incomes. That's really helpful information when it comes to accessing federal funds. And the other thing that I said in the beginning about congressional legislation is based on the numbers that come out of the census as well.
Good morning, Foster. Just wanted to briefly talk to you about the census that is coming up. It's taken every 10 years, correct?
Yeah.
Every 10 years, and it's very important because they're counting everybody and everything in our country. So it's important that your families participate, and one of the reasons it's important because it dictates how much federal funding we get for our educational programs here at the school. So make sure that you participate in the census. Thank you.
That concludes your video, Foster. Thanks for watching. I hope you can bring something home that you learned about the U.S. Census. Share with your family, your friends, your parents, your whole household. And once again, I want to thank all the people that made this video possible. And like always, Foster, it's a great day to be a Bulldog.
A photograph, a time and place, a picture holds a moment's space, a portrait of hopes and dreams, telling the story we've left the past. America, let's celebrate. We're proud and we stand tall together. A portrait of us all.
The 2010 Census. It's a new portrait of America.